I know. Hello, Papa. Yeah, we're gonna chill today. We're gonna take it to a different level. Feels me? We're gonna take it to a different level. That's right. To a different level, baby. Stop playing with my gun. Put him up now. At least that one. Climbing on it. Why you keep climbing on my gun, cuz? Oh yeah, we're gonna chill in the bed with Red. Chill in the bed with Red. Yes, sir. You know what? Come on. Chill in the bed with Red, babe. So I left. I'm reading that book. Yeah, my bed. Man, it's like a king's bed. You coming up? Don't worry about that. That's where you lay there. No more snacks in the bed. That's why they're right there. Yep. You didn't want to eat them. I don't know. I'm too good, What is it? Stick it over. What's up? Oh, you want the camera now? There's no light here. So we be smoothing. We be smoothing. Like my brother Kwame now, we be smoothing. I gotta sit up. But you protecting me? You got guard? You pulling guard? Yeah, I love you too. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No orange. There's no orange and bananas. Yes. All right, reading this last night. This is a good ass book, boy. This book is good. I don't know if they psyching us or whatever, but this is Brotherhood of the Snake. Batteries. Oh. God damn. All right, enough. That's not even a laser, Papa. Let's sit up. That is what my mornings or my AMs consist of, other than 25 push-ups, a couple of reps with some curls, 4 or 5 chin-ups, and then y'all don't see me do this a lot. This is organic lemon and lime. It's better to get the raw lemon and lime, but I like to purchase this one brand that I'm using for years now. That's helped me. You can overdo anything, but this is organic lemon, lime, ginger, and cayenne pepper. And regular room temperature, 72, 73 degree, it's cool. Distilled water, not charcoal, not my big charcoal water that I keep refilling every day. I gotta buy some new silica sand and some rocks, and I gotta go out and it's not out there right now, but I got to go out and find some greens. The pines here are kind of deadly. You can't use those. But with the cotton, t-shirt, pine needles that I need, I've had to go all the way over to, they call it Navajo Mountain. We don't call it Navajo Mountain. Never did, never will. But over there, still I can get the greens in the bottom with the cotton t-shirt and the cotton, regular cotton. And the greens go on top of that as to filter out any residuals that may come through and get a little chlorophyll. So I got to get that in order to purify some more water. I got plenty stored away. Like I could drink water for minutes, like stacked up. But this right here, oh boy. I don't like to drink tea all the time. I know a lot of people drink tea all the time. It's the worst thing you can do. You don't want to drink tea all the time. But besides all that jibber jab, what I wanted to say was, I don't make no excuses for nothing. But I gotta say this because I was born at a different time, I was born, regardless of what I went through as a child, at the hands of one of my birthing mother. Regardless of that, there's no hate. I don't bring that every time. It's part of my story, though. It's part of my story. Whatever your story is, you should speak on it. But I don't speak on it with malice or to create a despairing or a division relationship. She does that on her own. I'm the only son that actually, besides David, anyway, who made the best to reach out and correct the malice, and even came home from the military with her on the edge of the bed, talking to her with the family around. When they wanted to persecute, I just wanted her to admit her wrongdoings, and we move forward in life. She couldn't do that. See that? I grew up in a time different. We're built different. When we fell down, we got up. We told to rub some dirt on it. Let's put some Benadine on it. Let's get a little bit of stream water and tap on it. You're gonna be fine. Rub some grass on it. Serious now. And was done. Cry, suck them tears up. They're not gonna solve nothing. You gotta listen. So I learned how to do that. If I made a mistake and it was seen as pretty serious, this is part of the indoctrination. Before I got home, I got tattled. I got paddled and tattled a few times. So when I got home, usually it was get a bath and get a very harsh talking to, because I didn't need no more tattling, no paddling. When a teacher, if you did something that was out of character, and the teacher knew that you did it one too many times, we had what was called a coat closet. And you walk in there, it's got benches. You had your little wooden cupboards, you put your lunches in. There was no refrigerators. There was no lunch in the cafeteria room. We had breakfast. Black Panthers established that. She'd take you in there, and in this small space, she had a little paddle or a belt. Now, she wouldn't paddle us. She'd strap us because she knew my mom, Grams and all of them, and Miss Winston and a couple others. They'd tear our ass up in that cloakroom. And see, the kids in the other room would hear it. Or we would hear it, and we wouldn't do what they did. Conditioning. I was born at a different time. We had hog maw and chitlins and collard greens and hot water cornbread, whole cake, flour, not that sweet crap either that they eat now. We had okra. We grew our okra and our tomatoes, and corn, and we made stew, and we ate it on a rainy day or a cold day, or we ate it just because it was good. And we didn't have diabetes. We didn't have all these cancers and canker sores, and we didn't have all this man-made stuff. I grew up in a different time. When you learn how to ride a bike, everybody got to ride the bike. If we had a little Red Rider, everybody got to ride a Red Rider. If you had a little BB gun, everybody had a BB gun. And it was fun. I grew up in a different time. I grew up, we played in the sandbox We played King of the Mountain. And if we were afflicted by the beauty of a young lady that we didn't know what beauty was, we knew we were men, well, young men. We knew what direction we were going in, where we would do our best to outdo each other to win, like a peacock, like birds dancing, like certain animals when they prance. We did the same thing. I grew up in a different time. I grew up in a time when the women made sure the young boys knew they were going to be men, and they made sure the young girls knew they were going to be women. I grew up in a different time. I grew up in a time where we went to Sunday school and we didn't hear all the craziness going on upstairs. And they just taught us about the flood, evil, and good, to know the difference. I grew up in a different time. I grew up when we ate pancakes, real pancakes, homemade, scratch-made bread. I grew up learning how to make peanut butter. I grew up, learning how to harvest honey. I grew up learning how to kill a turkey and a chicken and gut some wild animals, game turkey, not the stuff in the store. I learned how to hunt quail and squirrel meat. I remember walking home and already everybody's fence was blackberries and raspberries and strawberries and blueberries. And we just walk and we eat them. Not in no store packaged with chemicals to saturate and poison coming out of Mexico with all the drug dealers and everything else, because the government set it up that way, this fictional girl. I grew up in a different time when our promises were hunted down and murdered. I grew up in a different time. I grew up when it was lemonade, it was lemonade. I remember cranking cane sugar instead of buying Domino sugar. Domino means tap, 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 you all fall down. I grew up in a different time where a pepper was a pepper. We didn't have nobody telling us about you could be a she, or you don't know what you is now, and you could be a him. I didn't grow up in a time of mass hysteria and confusion. I grew up in a different time, where a disagreement was just a disagreement. It was nothing else. It was just a disagreement, and we kept moving forward. I grew up in a time that if it got to the point where there was the disagreement couldn't be met, then we put on the gloves. And we put on them gloves and we give it our best. And we have coaches and say, okay, now that you got that out, let's go down to Dukas or Dewdrops and let's get you in the ring. I grew up in a different time. I grew up in a time when everybody was to love one another and we didn't see color. But it was implemented, but we just couldn't see it. I grew up in a different time. I grew up knowing who I was when everybody else didn't. That's the only thing that I know different. And I didn't push it on nobody because I grew up in a different time. I see people right now on Facebook so stuck, people who I actually have respect for. How many people know that y'all know I come from a very, I hate the word mixed family because I don't see that. I've got Dutch, Spanish, Irish, and Chinese in the family. Don't mean that it's all that, but it's my family. It's blood in, blood out, regardless of what you think. And some of y'all know I've been talking about black Irishmen. I've been to Ireland. See, there's a difference. But see, there's people, man, who get this ego about them. It's not a hate thing. I grew up in a different time. And they want to get recognition. If I wanted to have recognition, it'd be the one of the forefathers of all these goofy little movements that nobody listens to because I'm one of the original people that kept the history going. I grew up in a different time. I'm not looking for recognition. I'm tired of all these wayward individuals and they arguing and this, that, and the other. They don't do nothing. You know why? Because they grew up in a different time. They don't know what real doing is. They think it's a display. They think it's like the stage, a vaudeville act. I did this. I went out and did this. I grew up in a different time. We all did it, whether one did it or not. I grew up in a different time. I didn't have a whole lot of emotions when I grew up. So when I got to the point where I had them, I felt like a wreck. I was like, something ain't right. Now, you know the VA and everybody else, and they just want to plop, 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 because their thing is you're an experiment in their ignorance. They really believe their lie. But see, when I got hold of that, and I realized that, I was like, you people, I remember saying this to people. I said, you people is crazy. And a lot of them was younger than me. I grew up in a different time. And I remember him telling one doctor, I said, man, if I really wanted, with all the police and everything, I could be in your backseat of your car, cut your fucking, I said this, excuse my language, cut your friggin' head off. And nobody see you, nobody recognize you unless you was missing for work or stinking in that carport. And he looked at me, and you know, the regular old Karen and Ken, are you threatening me? No, I just made a statement. I grew up in a different time. See, people like me, if there was people out here
potential spam.
You know what? Y'all try that later. I don't give a damn about y'all fake God and everything y'all revived. I don't care. Stop. But anyway, I grew up in a different time. I grew up in a different time. The last real time. I think the last original beginning of the last real time, to which they didn't really enjoy because they were living a fiction of it, being so wrought with fear that we didn't have time for that. I think the abuse that I went through for them 6 years was to remove that fear. Though I still had fears. A different time. Yet I was established enough to know that I could see the stuff that's going on right now. Most of the people calling 911 on brothers and sisters who run around calling themselves black and African American like the dumbasses they are, not with hate do I say that. I say that because of their parents, because of their church, and because of these worthless ass school teachers, these youngins, and the system that be with these sellout niggas. I grew up in a different time when they were part of that. So I see that. So I was able to recognize it and call it for what it is. When I was in the military and I was training to go special forces, I was training like, man, I know me, man. I hate giving up, man. I just don't have it in me, man. My knees and back messed up, right? You couldn't tell me that I can't do something, man. You just can't tell me that. And I don't give it strength to them being messed up. I grew up in a different time. I'll wrap these knees up and I'll get out there and go and do what I got to do and come back and put in ice water and everything else and be like, oh, tomorrow's another day. We're different, man. I know the last couple of days I've been like, what's Ray going to? Instead of paying attention to the message. And you haven't even learned who the messenger is. So it shows me that I grew up in a different time because y'all are still stuck in the other parliament tricks. The parlor tricks of the parliament parties that run around with some fake afiasa, you know, like they're very wayward. See me, I grew up in a different time. I just don't get it. I remember watching on the television, the TV set, the rabbit is, little cartoon, the kids smelled the milk. Mama turns around. Oops, I made a mistake, that's all. Making mistakes ain't hard at all. Man, I wish it was that way. I was told to pay attention when I put something down. I got my ass licked. Yeah, because I knew better. I grew up in a different time. I paid attention all the time to all the people coming into our land and moving into all these different areas, and the gentrification that the government, the fake niggas and everything else was pushing these people. And now they run around here with their first generation born here and they act like they've been here forever. Wearing rebel flags and Metallica, this, that, don't even know the truth of history. Just the dumbest sons of bitches I ever seen walking around. And they all over. I'm talking about pale skins and some of these African motherfuckers too. I'm not saying this with hate. I'm saying it on the fact of what I've witnessed and what I've seen, and the fact that I don't parlay with it. And if they have a hard time with it, come and see me, motherfucker. I grew up in a different time. I'm for everything and everybody and everyone. But I'm not for everybody's bullshit and everybody's inconsistencies and everybody's nonsense. No, I have never been, nor will I ever be. The children are important, but do you see what happens to the children when you let these certain adults who got minds like a 15-year-old, but they get to move like a 50 or 60-year-old? You see what it turns out, controlled by the narrative of them people who are nothing but liars that y'all call government. I'm not anti-government. I'm damn sure not anti-policy enforcers. But them motherfuckers don't know their job, but you have some dumb bastards on that. Look at all the motherfucking foreigners. Some of them, Johnny can't even speak English and wearing goddamn Miami-Dade police uniform or New York City police uniform. What kind of... I grew up in a different time, but no, they would have been rounded up and cornered and sacked. I grew up in a different time. I don't see how all you people keep running around all arguing and fighting. I see special forces operators talking. I'm sitting there going, I have respect for you, but man, what Hollywood movies ain't done shit for me. I don't give a fuck about your Jesus. But if you want to live by that and be righteous in it. But I don't go throwing that shit around when somebody else know better. I grew up in a different time. And I see some guys who went to war who shouldn't be wearing a uniform right now. Because see, they still at war. But the system know that. Sadly, they're wonderful individuals, some of them. A lot of them. But they get broken like any and everybody else. I had two friends when I was PTSD. One was a Green Beret and one was I think it was Marshall was new. No, he was SIL. They fucked them up. But they were real down to earth people. And we talk deep, man. And I love the fuck out of them. And they doing wonderful. The thing is, people are people. See, we've allowed I'm not gonna say that word. We've allowed Hollywood weird, and we've let the media, the lying ass thing, construct a narrative to formulate perception in people's heads. I grew up in a different time when you had real journalists talking real stuff and getting their lights. You see what I'm saying? I grew up in a different time. All I wanted to do was be able to tell this one story. And I said I was going to read. I appreciate the donations. I was looking at this one video the other day. It just popped up. I guess they're getting views. I don't know. And it was the dumbest thing I had ever seen in my life. There's nothing to be gathered from it. Except stay away and don't hurt your eyes. You can't unsee what you see. And yet it's there with 1.7 million views in 3 months. And I'm sitting there saying, I grew up in a different time because I know a lot of y'all looking at a bunch of bullshit. And I know it. I know a lot of y'all are talking with certain individuals who are arguing in groups. And I know a lot of y'all still talking about you are Indian. We are the original Indians. We're not natives. That was an identity created by the Pan-American movement. Not our term. That's a foreign occupier's term. We never utilize it. So whenever I see brothers and sisters talking about we the true natives, I'm like, dang it. I don't say nothing because at times I utilize that term to bring people in. I like to bring people in, then hit them with the alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? A layup. You know what I'm saying? Get a good finger roll on it. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up in a different time. I know how I watched how mama could coerce me to come inside when I didn't want to because I believe I was gonna get an ass whooping, but she had me 130% convinced I wasn't gonna get that ass whooping that I got about 4 hours later. Patience is a powerful weapon. I grew up in a different time. There was no good cop, bad cop when it came. No, you come on in, baby. You gotta eat. No. Let's get the homework done. We're gonna sit down. And then when it came to ass whooping, it was no yelling. It was no loud. Get your ass upstairs. I love you. I'll be right up behind you. And you sitting there saying, what is this? Am I got a peasant? And that belt coming lashing on that ass and hitting them hind parts and thighs and you stood, you know not to dance around too much because she'll make you like a damn shish kebab. She'll have your arms and your toes and your forehead lit up too. If you just start turning circles like you a dreidel or something. No, you stand still and you take that because you don't want to get it all looking like no. And then school and no, they go, oh, you's bad if you start being a dreidel and you get the whole, rotisserie. No, they get that whole rotisserie. No, in school they'd be like, So I heard you was out of character. I grew up in a different time. And some will say, well, was you a drug dealer? Let me tell you something. I come from humble beginnings. We had big houses. We had a lot of land. We still have, but we don't own the land. We belong to it. And to be meek and humble was the most important thing. Somebody laughs and says, I remember you was rocking Buster Browns. I was like, yeah, and so was you. And it was the joint. The last of a real shoe. And then, we used to rock the shoes, the Nikes and the Converses, the Pro Keds and the Pumas, because they was cheap. Nobody was wearing them. We used to crease our jeans and put our little tweed shirts and our English mock necks on. We used to take the clothes that nobody knew how to wear, and it didn't matter what we put on. We used to dance and fancy them up. We put all that bedazzling. You see how the Pelicans took over and being bedazzled. Then you got them niggas in California trying to be Pelicans, start putting jingle jimes all over it with their retarded self. But I'm speaking the truth. Now tell me if I'm wrong. I grew up in a different time. You got a little emotional young soy niggas running around doing stuff with so-called prominent indigenous movement peoples, right? Worried about because they come and look at my live and they hear me here listen to Afro music, Afro beats, and they don't know the first thing about it, but they want to run their mouth on Facebook because I'm deep banned, I'm hitting on there. I'm like at the lowest because Facebook staff scared of me. And a lot of them niggas, them fake ass Masons over there in 0702 Montclair, New Jersey, scared of me too. And the dumbass women who done got the fat as a goddamn church building or a big ass building because they don't pay attention to their diet and what they should eat compared to what they do eat. And because I come hard on them because I care and love them, so I have to dismiss them when I get the chance. And they still have to listen to these little soy babies who don't know no damn better, who probably in their head still battling whether they like boys or girls. I grew up in a different time. And everybody think in your 50s you old. I don't know where that came from because that's not where I grew up. In the 50s, cats were still running marathons, in the 60s and marathons and lifting heavy shit and picking up small block and big block motors. So I don't know where y'all get this shit from. Must be the movies, the TV shows. And the fact that they chemically fucking us up. But I don't see none of y'all coming together, going in the backwoods, training together with your platforms. I don't see none of y'all moving and learning how to communicate without words. I just see a lot of y'all doing a lot of this. See, I grew up in a different time. So when we went out there, we go quail shooting. There'd be like 8 of us, right? And I'm probably the youngest, right? All it was. And they had the little beagles, you know, black and white motherfuckers. Boy, them sons of bitches. Anyway, and the labs. He moving slow. So I started moving like the dogs. They said, this kid moving like a little wolf. I used to play with a fox. That's what Mama Tina named me home on the shoulder. When I said that word, I got saying home on the shoulder. You don't say that. That's why my great grandma, mama, and all of them was always so separated. She's like, you know, I came up here to make a better life after what all went down there and down south. They come up here and they still scary. I started speaking my languages of Mama Tina. Mama Tina tell me, don't say nothing, but I'm young. Home, I say, you know, what that was this? What that was? Every time I grew up in a different time. And then I gotta listen to a bunch of pale skins act like they us. And they think they're gonna be accepted. I don't accept this fake ass government. So what makes you think I'm gonna accept these fake ass engines? And what makes you think I'm gonna accept y'all when y'all don't even want to get together and train and move? I wouldn't care if you had an oxygen tank. If we gotta move, we gotta move. And you need to know how to perform until you can't perform no more. I grew up in a different time. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna listen to some jazz music. I want to read a little bit more The Gods of Eden, because this is going to be fabulous with the Wars of Anunnaki and Tartarian. You know, I'm going to create a story out of 3 stories, right? And 2 more. So anyway, I want to lay back and read. And I'll come back on. We're going to get Arthur Kessler. Don't worry, we're going to get into the heaven bearers. We're going to finish that out. I'm doing what needs to be done. Either you come back or you don't. So when I come back, we'll go ahead and get these 2. Right now, I'm just rough sourcing all this here, and then I know I said we're gonna come back later. I was tired. I went outside. I'm gonna share this with you. Something's gonna happen around these parts. Why? I went outside to step on the soil, and I saw things on the ground that I know from the military. They look a little different. So I bent down and started picking them up. I showed y'all before. See, we had this funny little snow and rain. Now we got regular snow coming. But this stuff ain't snow. It's some kind of weird light metallic all over the ground. So something's going to happen here. So if you have the knowledge and knowing, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me put on my Nikes. I got my oranges. You stay away from my oranges, boy. You see him, right? He's chilling. All right, let me put on my Nikes. I'm going to show y'all. I wasn't going to show y'all. I can explain it, of course. I'll show y'all. It's snowing right now, so it ain't going to hide it. I want you, because I need y'all to pay attention to what's going on around you. And that it's your government that's doing this shit. Your fake ass government with their little brainwash. Tick tock, tick tock. Deep. Don't want to get out, want to be there so they can do the abhorrent things they do, unless they've been chosen and then they were put through the regiments of shock medicine and better forms of LSD and everything else, brainwashing or whatever you want to call it. Okay. All right, so it's fake snowing right now, okay? I don't want him to come out. He's going to come out. All right, I'm going to show you this. All right, let's turn this around. Let's see. This is not in my soil. This is not, let me show you. This fell last night. Let me see, we got real big snow falling, right? Hold on. See that right there? That is not a rock. Look, it's all over. This stuff fell last night. You think I'm joking? All right, so there's regular snow. See, it's like it's falling to hide it. This soil right here is dark red. Because it got wet, that's different. But all these, here. See this right here? This is not, watch this. This fell last night. I don't even want to be touching it, and it's all over. And I came a step,
And it wasn't really, I guess my foot didn't really allow it to fall. It's like little, it's like some kind of weird metal. This is not normal. See? It's not normal. And I know why. Because I'm always putting my feet out in it. This is how it looks after it rains without that stuff. So obviously, because of the side of the building, it couldn't get over here. You see what I'm saying now? Now you see, that's a regular snow. You see the snow falling? And it's melting. Okay? That's why I tell you, pay attention. Even my truck, on the top of it looked kind of weird on top of it. But, you know, it is what it is. You ain't got to meow my ear, bro. You can hear me talking. You know, so I shouldn't even touch it, but I'm not worried about it. You know, it is what it is, right? 70 degrees. There we go. I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, all right? I love y'all. Shut your names off, and it's a wrap. In a couple hours, I'll be back on the read because I want to read eating, listen to my jazz nice and loud. And things are going to be what they're going to be. You feel me? Hold on, Papa. You know how to climb. You know how to jump your bed up there? I know my bed is high as hell. I like it like that. Oh. No, I had a king size. I had them take it up out of here. Feel like I was in the ocean. The queen size is just fine. Ain't nothing like laying with a queen, right? Anyway, excuse me. Let me give you a shout out. Sign off. Hey, Rep. What's up, baby girl? Thank you, baby. Oh, Grand Elevations, Rhonda. What's going on, family? Ray Wolf, Grand Elevations. Make mistakes that happen to anyone. Exactly. Of course. Hey, West Side. What's cracking, family? 50T. It's not old. Now I'm in my 70s. I know it's not. It's old. They make us. They got pale faces all over the world, right? As that's the go-to. And I keep telling people, and then the Hindus, they let them do it. Bollywood, some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life, and some good stuff. Not to be no hater, but with us, there's always got to be some controversial bull crap. Now they're putting all the Africans out in the front, and it's the new generation, you know, and it's sad because I know people from all over, and I love them, and they know who I am, but what is this new thing? You know, Marcus, what's going on, bro? What's going on, baby boy? You know, I grew up in a different time, man. We actually care about people. We care about things. And maybe that could be the downfall, right? Excuse my hair, but y'all know I ain't cutting all that, man. All this stuff going on. I wish more hair grew out. Everybody looking at my eyebrows and looking at my beard. They're like, bro, you look like you got some Japanese. I'm like, if you don't get your y'all okay, hear some people when they come to me. They are so people are so damn goofy, man. I love them, but you can't make it up though. You know what I'm saying? So many people have so much hate. And you would think that they can move beyond it when it's not theirs to have. Or it's misdirected. There's no focus. Yesterday we talked about the 7 deadly sins and the 7 virtues, right? Isn't it amazing how they teach people about sinning all the time, and then they wonder what's wrong when they're sinning, but they don't teach them about the virtues? You ever pay attention to that? Look, I'm gonna get off, y'all. I love y'all, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna read this. We're gonna read quite a bit of Arthur Kessler, and William Cooper too. We need to get beyond. He's gonna break down a lot of stuff, and you need to. If you want, take notes. It's important. All right. So anyway, I appreciate everybody taking the time coming on over, and I'll get with y'all later. All right. And damn, thanks for the 5. I just noticed that. You sent me $5. Oh, thank you, boo boo. See y'all. It's gonna help a brother. I actually supposed to go to the post office too, y'all. I don't know if I'm going back out in that stuff because I got 2 yellow tickets, so I guess some books came in. Okay. I hear you, brother. I hear you. So Marcus' brother said he's a vessel for the hookah. And when the spirit enters, I control the weather. It don't have to enter you. You are a spirit. You're a walking spirit. How about you work with that and let that control all the narratives, control the mindset, control everything. You don't need nothing to enter you. Not even Mama Earth. She has her part to do, like Mother Nature, like Father Sky. Everything has its order. Yours is to connect to your spirit. You are a walking, living entity. You are light. The word Hawa means light, living light. Shana, living darkness. You are not empty. You're not void. So nothing needs to enter you. All right, my brother. Love you, man. I'm going to sign off, family. In a couple hours, I'll be back. I was thinking about making me some damn corned beef hash, y'all. Just for old steaks and some okra on the side. I couldn't find no green tomato, no green mater. I hate the word tomato. I just don't eat tomato. I couldn't find me no green mater, so what, Papa? So okra and fried okra and green tomato with some corned beef hash, man, and red onion. Ain't nothing like it. You hear me? Anyway, I'm gonna get with y'all later. Love y'all. Yes, I had corned beef. You know it. Oh, hold on. I gotta make my boy Reynold. You come in here, you're gonna be a moderator, bro. All right, yeah, Marcus Reynold, you got your wrench now, bro. I had to make sure of that. You know what I'm saying? So all my kinfolk get wrenches up in here. Thank you, Rep, again for the 5. Thank you, baby. All right, I'm gonna chat with you guys later. Much respect, y'all.